I want to just touch on real quick because this is such a hot topic with days being in the news.
Yes.
Um, so much going on. So for those of you who, because I feel like anyone who follows us, who I've mentioned that we're going on a hiatus, so I think everyone was like not as panicked. But for those people who might have not, because I don't know if anyone else in the cast ever told anyone. Like I've been speaking vocally about it, like, hey, Thanksgiving, we're done for a while. Um, so from what the article said, I think like TMZ and like all these people picked it up. We were trending for a minute, Days of Our Lives. It's like,
Ooh.
yeah. They were saying that everyone was fired. I guess technically everyone was fired.
Mm-hmm.
It just was a better clickbaity title. So
Of
congrats to
course.
the mega media companies who know exactly what they're doing.
Right.
We technically all were fired, but that sounds negative. You know, our contracts were just all ended because they want to save money. I mean, that's this whole entire battle of Days of Our Lives isn't that more people or less people are watching it. It's just that there's such a ladder from Sony to NBC to Corday to there's a lot of people in between, and it's all about money.
Of
So
course.
for
Always
them,
is.
canceling the contracts of 30 series regulars and then with the crew, I mean, I don't really know. If I had to guess, like, you know, they're going to save a couple $1 million.
Yeah.
So if that couple $1 million is what's going to help negotiate to get us picked up for another year, like every year they're doing something to just kind of trim the budget.
Yeah.
So that's what we've known. And like being on set, walking the halls, talking with everybody, no one seems nervous, like the
Yeah.
production. And also, too, with a lot of the new sets being built, they're investing money. So if we were going to be never coming
Come
back,
back.
why would they be building new sets? Why would they be spending money on a web series
True.
on the app? Why would you spend? Because they shoot that during our schedule. That's a lot of money to shoot that. They're shooting it like legitimately.
Yeah.
So where we're looking at that going, why would they spend all this money if why would they just drop all that money on the day of days? Like think about it. If you're
Right.
cutting
That's
like
a
that's
lot
that's
of.
NBC, so that's different. It's a complicated thing, but I think we're gonna come back. I've heard as early as January 15th,
Hmm.
and I've heard as late as April 1st.
Well, so for all of the other soaps that have been canceled in the past, because there have been a lot, do you think they got canceled solely because the numbers weren't there anymore? Because Days, their numbers are pretty
The day's numbers are great.
strong, right?
They were canceled based on a lot of people stopped watching.
Okay.
And that was the boom that happened in the 2000s. From what I hear, a lot of like back why it was popular in the 80s and 90s, or even maybe 70s, 80s, whenever it was at its peak, that's when a lot of stay-at-home moms, there wasn't dual incomes in the family. I think that was part of it.
Right.
The other part of it is that there were only 5 channels in 90 in
Sure.
80 90. There wasn't even like cable wasn't picking up yet. Then they expanded into you can now watch TBS and you can watch the Oprah's network and you can watch. I mean, now there's a ton of networks,
Yeah.
and then Netflix comes out, and then
Hmm.
Hulu, and now Disney Plus, and so the amount of content that is out there, people, unless you're a diehard, and generations pass it down. People who were wishy-washy left. They went back to work, and then the other problem that everyone's having is the ratings based on the advertisers. So that's how you run the show. They make money based on advertising.
Hmm.
Sony and NBC and Corday, they have to sell those Dove commercial ads during it to pay for everything we do.
Right.
But when people are DVRing it like my mom does for the week and then watches it on Friday, after 3 days of being on the DVR, if you don't watch it, it doesn't count for advertisers as a view.
Right.
So advertising's probably going down. People's attentions are leaving. So it's not that anything's changed with days. It's just how people are consuming it.
Yeah.
And back to your initial question, I think they were like, well, you know what? Maybe since people left, maybe it was All My Children. Maybe it wasn't good. Let's cancel it and put a cooking show on. So they canceled this amazing show, One Life to Live, all these things they put on other networks or other programs, and no one watched. So they go, uh-oh. But then it was already canceled, and they tried to do whatever. So I think Days, Young and the Restless, Bold and Beautiful, General Hospital have learned from that. They're not going to cancel Days, and NBC's not going to get something that's going to have a
That'll be
1.5 to 2
better.
million a day
Well, you got to
show up
think
and
too,
watch it.
though.